a Playlist original.
Hey, what's up? It's your host, Torry, and who is ready to be petty? Welcome back to another episode of RTBP. I am so glad you're here. I just wanted to start off this episode with saying my first Patreon episode will be out this Thursday. I'm covering the After the Altar 3 episodes that Netflix released on Friday. It is covering the season 2 cast and where they're at. And my special guest is Sophie James. As per usual, we're covering the Nick and Vanessa Lachey cinematic universe. So if you want to hear us cover After the Altar, that episode is coming out on Thursday with the Patreon launch. And I will put all the links on my socials at RTBP Podcast if you want to join me there. A few episode notes before we get into it. Kirsten and I cover Lemme, Kourtney Kardashian's new supplement company. And at the time, we had no information. People were just looking up the trademarks. And it looks like they had trademarked clothing and purses, etc. And they also had trademarked, which I missed in the news, vitamins and supplements. So the company is just a fucking wellness, like, gummy company, which is so, I feel like 2015, like, it's very much giving Sugar Bear hair care, and it's exactly what you would expect from a Goop brand, or a Poosh brand, I should say, to move into the vitamin space. So I don't know. Is anyone going to try it? I'm definitely not, but let me know if you do. I will say I did appreciate the marketing. It's a lot different from the current, like, all neutrals. It's very bright. It's kind of cringe, as Kirsten and I discuss in this episode, but I don't know. I just like that someone's doing something a little bit different from, like, all the Kardashians, like, very neutral aesthetics right now. And then we also talk about Queen Elizabeth dying. I feel like we were a little bit nonchalant about the Queen dying. And I think that was, like, a little bit of our white privilege showing. Like, it does matter to people, people of color, groups of marginalized people. And we do talk about that. But I think our, like, do not care attitude was, like, a little bit just because it doesn't affect us as much as other marginalized groups. So just wanted to put that out there. We also got Trisha's baby name. We talk about her viral tweet about giving birth to Queen Elizabeth reincarnate, but she named her kid Malibu Barbie, and I'm going to discuss that all on episode 111. Last thing I want to say about Ray J, then we'll get to today's episode. Just because I've had more time to think about it, this episode was definitely, like, our quick first hot takes, but I think that Ray J went into the sex tape situation, now we can basically call it a deal, thinking that this would be mutually beneficial for both of their careers, and it clearly wasn't. He's been seen as, like, a creep. His career has kind of floundered, where obviously the Kardashians has really taken off. And I think a lot of criticism from him was like, well, why are you talking about this now? Well, because the Kardashians up until this year, I believe, like, were on the top of their game. They were and are pop culture. But I feel like the cracks in the veneers are getting deeper. And I finally think that there is a chance that someone would listen to him about the sex tape after we, know how conniving they are and cunning they are, manipulative, and, puppet mastering their careers. So, yeah, I think that, those are just some additional thoughts I've had throughout the week. Okay, let's get into it because it's a really fun episode with Kirsten MacInnis. Without further ado, here's my conversation with Kirsten. I'm back with a very special guest, Kirsten MacInnis, at Kirsten Said What, co-host of Mess Magnets on Rob Has a Podcast. Kirsten, how are you?
I'm so good, Torry. I'm so excited to be back. I
truly feel like you've changed my life. And so I'm just grateful that you'll still talk to me.
Stop. Okay, like, we literally were just talking about how before Kirsten came on this podcast, she didn't have her own pop culture podcast. And now you're going on like, what, 6-8 months?
Yeah, I don't think it's been that long, but since April, I think, we've been doing Mess Magnets. But truly, I came on Ready to Be Petty like earlier this year. And I was like, Torry, I like used to care about all this stuff so much. And now I just don't even know where to go. I don't know where to start. Like, I don't even know. And then you unleashed like a monster inside me, and I've been like so much more dialed in.
I know. It's kind of inescapable once you get into the pop culture sphere, but it's such a fun escape. Like, I think I've really needed it over the last couple years, and I feel like it's just such a good distraction from what's really going on in the world. 100%.
And you know, Rob Has a Podcast is a reality TV network. They don't really cover outside stuff, but they brought in like a true crime podcast, and so Sasha, Joseph, and I were like, oh, but would you do like pop culture? Well, actually, Sasha was like, I want to do a pop culture, like, would you come like do Vibes Only with me? And I was like, absolutely, I will do Vibes Only. And so we've started over there, and it's so much fun, and we truly are, it is Vibes Only. We are not like experts in the field, but we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, even I don't consider myself an expert in the field. No, you are, though.
I think you're an expert.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I might be an expert for like headlines and, you know, just a lot of people, but like there's tons of backstory stuff or blind item stuff that I'm just not even familiar with.
I guess I feel like there's so many pop culture podcasts that all handle things a little bit differently, though. And so I think you could listen to all of them and you would catch different things and different perspectives. And it's just fun. I just love it.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, I listen to so many. Some cover just the headlines. Some cover the blind item side. Some people are in their, like, mid-30s, so some of their, you know, references and cultural touchstones are a bit, like, different than ours. Like, just those types of things. So just can't get enough.
No, literally, I'm an addict, and it is your fault, but I'm grateful for it.
Good. Last time you were on, we were talking about Celebrity Big Brother. Rihanna's pregnancy. Yeah, she had just announced that she was pregnant. Her baby's, I was going to say come and gone.
I think the baby's still here.
yeah, like, just come into our lives. And then Kim and Kanye were just having like a messy divorce. Yeah. And that's still happening. That part is
still happening. Celebrity Big Brother's over, but like regular Big Brother's on. Rihanna has a baby now. Yeah. And has started a hair item line is the newest thing.
Yeah, Fenty Beauty's expanding to hair.
Give us an album. Don't, like, stop lying. Didn't she say, like, 2020 she was going to do a new album and then just was like, never mind?
Yeah, I've just made peace with the fact that we're not getting any more Rihanna music. Just like how I had made peace, though, with that we weren't getting any new Britney music. And then we got Tiny Dancer. So
anything could happen.
And truly in this day and age.
Actually, it was was it this past week when Kanye like posted that Kim has diarrhea more than like any other human? Like, they're still out here.
That was
it fake? I just instantly believed it because I was like, that's exactly the type of thing that Kanye West would post.
I also just feel like people like Kim Kardashian have diarrhea.
Listen,
more than that.
Have you seen how much weight she has lost? I don't think you lose that much weight without taking a laxative. I just don't.
Yeah, like you're so right. Like, literally, like, stuff is going on with her bowels. Like she has tummy issues.
Yeah, she's not a headache girly. She's a tummy issues girly.
100%. Yeah, Kanye was like shit posting on Instagram, but then somebody just took the like screenshot of what he was posting and then changed the text.
That's so beautiful. I can't believe my media literacy is so low. Like, I literally didn't even follow up, because if you tell me Kanye West is doing something absolutely out of control, I'm like, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, there is so many things. That was like how I thought Doja Cat went to the Met Gala, but it was like a picture from like one of her albums or something. And I was like, oh, Doja Cat was like rocking the runway. And then I was like, oh no, that's her in her costume for like Halloween.
I love that. That's hilarious.
I'm
no,
so dumb.
Don't talk about my friend Torry like that. How dare you?
Okay, let's just like continue diving into like these Kardashian news stories, because it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since I've talked about the Kardashians on the pod, so I'm just ready to talk about them. You've been going through withdrawals. 45 minutes. Yeah. But like actually I was like, because you know how when you release a podcast, no one cares about this, but you like tag like topics? Well, usually I tag the Kardashians, Kourtney Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, and I haven't. And I was like, okay, this can't be. So glad we're doing a roundup. Let's start with Kourtney, because she has had some interesting headlines in the news. Yes. Poosh has also made its foray into skincare, just like Kylie and Kim before her. Kourtney launched a $95 carbon purifying facial mist.
I guarantee you it's just water.
It's just water with like a little bit of scent.
It's like they put in like 3 like little scoops or tiny scoops of like activated charcoal or something, and they're like, spray this on your face and that it will be good. And it's like, no.
Yeah, and I feel like when people hear the word carbon or charcoal or something, they're like purifying, extracting, like the Meg, like it'll just come out like a magnet.
So that's the thing, is that charcoal has like science, like properties, or things do like stick to it or whatever. But I mean, I don't think that would work. I think that would just make dirt stick to your face. Like, it's not gonna suck things out of your pores.
Yeah, that's just actually not how things work. I don't know how they work, but it's not
that is like how I don't really drink that much coffee. I mostly just take caffeine pills, and I went to buy caffeine pills at GNC, and this woman behind the counter, I hate to call a woman a bitch, but truly to me that's how I feel, and she was like, oh yeah, we don't have any caffeine pills, but like you should take this like powder that you mix with water, and like it'll be great, and it just burns fat just by drinking it. And I'm like, okay, not how the human body works, but like whatever. Ugh. Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Yeah, 100%. Just like just fake science. 100% fake. But like, I feel like a lot of celebrities are into just like fake science.
Well, yeah, because I think really only like, I think Paris Hilton actually knows what's in her skincare, and it's good stuff. And
Paris Hilton?
I think so. Doesn't she have a skincare thing?
Oh, are you thinking about
No, Hailey Bieber's is good. But I maybe Paris Hilton doesn't have her own skincare line, but Paris. I once watched like dermatologist reacts to Paris Hilton's like nighttime skincare routine. And so maybe I just thought it was like her products. But she like actually knew all of the active ingredients in the products she was using, and like what worked. It was like a really good skincare routine.
Yeah, I actually definitely watched that video too. It's my favorite when you're like talking to someone, you're like, oh, we just have the same for you page.
I mean,
like perfect.
A lot of the time, yes. And I also just feel like you and I are the exact same demographic, where like Vogue is like, oh, Sydney Sweeney's taking off her makeup, and yeah, I want to watch it.
Yes. So Kourtney's other business venture is she has launched Lemme with Simon Huck, which is like a long time Kardashian friend. He was a PR mogul in New York, and they haven't actually launched it. She posted a picture and was like, turn on your notifications to hear about the launch of Lemme. But people did some digging, so we didn't have to. And they looked at the trademarks, and it was like for purses, bags, totes, wallets, and clothing. Do you think Kourtney has good style?
No. I like even the pictures like for the like Lemme campaign, like she's got the bicycle, and she's in that like green, like very loose shirt. It just does not work for me. I feel like it's not even like doing the 90s revival fashion that's back well. I think it's just bad. I mean, I'm sure she has better fashion than me because I can't afford clothes, but
yeah, I get that. Think none of it looks like innovative or particularly
and it's not
like
flattering
trendy
either. Like I don't know. I feel like it's like the clothes are just hanging off of her rather than her actually wearing clothes.
Yeah, she's wearing, in the picture that I'm looking like at it looks like a football jersey. And then like as a dress, and then like thigh-high boots, and like the average person just is not wearing that.
Yeah, and then there's also the picture. So she's in like these shiny like turquoise pants with like this baggy green blouse, and it's so ugly. And that was the video where she was promoting this new company.
I don't know. I'm just not interested. It is interesting that she has chosen to do some type of additional business, because I find like, you know, like the storylines on Keeping Up were all like, Kourtney doesn't like to work. Kourtney doesn't want to do anything. She just wants to do Poosh. So it is interesting that she decided to do something, but this just seems tired.
And I think it would have been better to kind of lean into the whole elder emo thing, like being with Travis Barker. Lean into that. Lean into the all black, the kind of edgier look. Like a lot of like 90s grunge and more of a punk look is kind of in right now. And I think that it suits her better than whatever the hell she's doing.
Yes.
And then she can capitalize on her husband's fan base.
Yes, 100%. I was going to say the exact same thing. Like, it's weird that it doesn't seem to align with her true style right now. And she always was the black sheep. I didn't mind when she like pivoted into more of, you know, the pop punk aesthetic, but yeah, it seems weird. I feel like she, you know, gets teased a little bit but would lean into that. Instead she's going like the opposite direction.
Yeah, I feel like she was a pioneer and now she's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I really liked her aesthetic when she was in that, like, you know, like the business casual like oversized blazer era. I thought she did that really well.
I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, I wish I could just wear an oversized blazer and that would be okay. But I feel like it's not okay right now.
I know, me too. But why do we feel like it's not okay?
Right. Honestly, we should bring it back. You and me, oversized blazers, our next hot girl walk in Victoria. We'll do a business cash.
Yes. Yes. We'll just be like, we're doing the city secretary look of like, we work in the city.
Yeah, we've got our heels in our bag. We're wearing our running shoes.
Yes. Yeah, but we're like active.
Oh my God. Iconic.
The third and last thing that Kourtney has like, I want to say stumbled into, but I feel like that's really fucking rude. But she is named Boohoo's new sustainability consultant.
Tell me a bigger oxymoron than Boohoo and sustainability.
I know. And also it's like, just pick a different name. Like it's, and even saying that, I just felt super cringy.
I saw a post on like an environmental account about this that was like, Boohoo pays their workers like $4 an hour and it's all just made of plastic.
Yes, if you are not familiar, it is a fast fashion brand. It's pretty up there with Shein, and they're obviously greenwashing their entire company by making like a huge capitalist like family the face of their sustainability.
It's like these
initiatives.
Women who we never see wearing the same thing twice really care about sustainable fashion.
Yeah, where 2 of like 6 of them or whatever were named like the highest polluters via private jet. Like, who would have thought to do this? But it's like, well, they couldn't have actually gotten like a sustainability expert, because the person would be like, but none of your practices are sustainable.
And to make matters even worse, which I guess it makes sense why it's Kourtney, is the clothes is just god-awful. Like, it's like sometimes... So, I've never actually shopped on Shein. Like, I've looked at the website, and there's even been times when I'm, like, really broke, and I'm like, oh, I could buy, like, a couple of things. And, like, I wear my clothes into the ground, so... I feel a little bit better sometimes shopping fast fashion, because I know that, like, I have some stuff from, like, Forever 21 that I've had since, like, 2015. Like, I keep my clothes and I take really good care of it. So I look, and I've never been able to press, like, submit on anything because I just feel too guilty. Which, like, if you have to shop there, like, I'm not out here judging people who are, like, buying Shein, unless you're, like, buying, like, to do, like, a haul every other week. Like, then I'm giving you side eye.
Yeah, 100%.
But, like, on Shein, sometimes the clothes looks like it's, like, okay quality, and you could see people posting pictures and it actually looks okay. I feel like on Boohoo, you can, like, tell that it's just gonna feel scratchy.
It's bad. Yeah, I've done one Shein order. It was before I went to a wedding in Mexico, and I was like, I just want one of those, like, satiny long dresses that are, like, good for the beach. And I ordered one, and it was, like, so bad and so cheap. And I was like, and I ordered a pair of shoes to go with it. They were, like, tiny, like, for ants. And then but yeah, it just didn't work out for me. But yeah, I totally understand why people would buy there. And yeah, it's just when the people are doing, like, $2,000 hauls that it's like, this is...
It's like, oh, you're going to order all 15 of those bikinis? Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Also, I feel like those are the ones that, like, disintegrate after, like
you're right. It's like, that's the sexy
one
bikini
wear.
where it disintegrates after, like, 3 hours, so you can get lucky.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
100%. Yeah.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, so a Boohoo, not good. Super fast fashion, like, major polluter. Kourtney Kardashian, not a sustainability consultant for anything. No good.
She's been busy. So is Kris Jenner. She did a collab with Kylie Cosmetics, their second one. It's, like, all, like, martini inspired. It's okay. I just, like, don't get with Kylie Cosmetics. Like, I literally need someone to open, like, an
investigation. It's just ColourPop.
Just because it's literally ColourPop. It's literally the same fucking colors. There's not that many shades of, like, pink and red.
Well, I mean, if you make it just a little bit different.
It's, like, one shade darker.
Not this palette saying you're doing amazing, sweetie, on the front. Get out of town.
Yes, it's kitschy. It's very Kris Jenner. But they were both on the James Corden late night show. And Kris, as, like, you know, the gimmicky bit that they have to do, took a polygraph test. Because there's no way Kylie would have agreed to a polygraph test. The first question would be, like, what's your name? The name of your second child.
Tell us.
Which we were discussing when you were last on. Yeah, and she's still, like, doubling down that the name of her child is Wolf. Yeah, I can't remember
what we said the name was going to be, but I feel like Wolf was in the realm of what we thought it might be.
Why do the only words that I think of that we said were, like, Diesel and Rambo?
Okay, have you seen... you don't go to the movies. You have not seen Bullet Train, right?
No.
So one of the...
I've never even heard of it.
Bullet Train, a little violent, but it was pretty funny with Brad Pitt was in it. So I did feel bad paying money for a Brad Pitt movie, I will be honest. But it was really funny. And there's one of the characters that's, like, obsessed with Thomas the Tank Engine. And, like, saying, like, basically, like, astrology or Enneagram, but, like, saying what train from Thomas the Tank Engine everyone would be. And the bad guys in that are called diesels. And so he'd be like, you're a diesel. And so that's all I can think of.
Yeah, literally. It was, like, you know, some type of, like, action-y word. Yes, it might have been
I don't know, something like that. But here's the thing. Apparently she's changed the name. She won't tell us what the name is. I don't care anymore. Like, this could be headline news now, and I would be like, oh, well, sorry, you missed the point of me caring about what you name your child, because I don't care about anybody's children. And so I really don't care once it's, like, popped out for more than a couple of months, especially for a stranger's child.
She should have released it when, like, the Khloe Tristan shit was going down.
Yeah, or, like, when Kim and Pete broke up.
Yeah, like, that would be the perfect distraction
just at any point, she could have just, like, told us. And now I don't even want to know. Like, if I find out she's released it, I'm gonna be like, no, I don't want to look.
Yeah, 100%. I will, but I won't be happy about it.
That's more accurate.
Okay, I know that polygraph tests are not real anyways, but these are fully staged.
Yes.
All of these celebrity 100%, ones, right?
But also, Kris Jenner could pass a real polygraph anytime because I have, like, yes. I feel like her pulse does not change. Like, she does not sweat. She has no reaction. Like, this woman could kill someone and then pass a polygraph, like, 2 minutes later. I do believe that it could be real and she could just lie through it anyways.
I know. It's kind of like, this is a Caitlyn Jenner reference, but, like, wasn't she, like, a decathlon where you have to, like, shoot and run and ski or, like...
Yeah, that sounds right.
I just feel like... Okay, so the people in the Olympics who have to, like, ski and then shoot something, whatever that is, you have to have zero pulse. And I'm like, why did she not... become an Olympic athlete?
Like Kris Jenner?
Like,
no, because listen, she has the ability to stay calm, but, like, she wanted more than that. You know, Olympians aren't rich.
Yeah, she wanted
but you are right,
Caitlyn Jenner
was a decathlon athlete.
But is that where you ski and shoot something?
What's in a decathlon? You do 10 things. Okay, so 100-meter run, a long jump, shot put, high jump, 400 meters, 110-meter hurdles, discus, pole vault, javelin, and 1,500 meters. So I guess not.
Okay.
But I do know what you're talking about.
So, yeah, listeners weigh in. Please tell us what that sport is. Because I, like, literally can't even think of it.
Oh, it's the winter biathlon. And you only do skiing and rifle shooting. There's no other things.
Bi too. Yes, 10. Of course. Okay, so Kris Jenner didn't want to be a biathlon.
I guess not.
Olympian,
she could have.
But she could have been. Because you're right. Her calm under pressure is...
Like, Kris Jenner's blood pressure is 120/80, and it has never moved, you know?
No, it's, like, permanently there. So she was asked some spicy questions. She said that Kylie was her favorite child, and that the polygraph person said that was true.
Oh, my God.
She said she has no overseas tax shelters. And I was like, but you didn't ask about her fake church where she hides, she hides her money and gets a tax write-off. Well, she has a real church, the Church of California, I think it's called, where she, gets, like, tax write-offs.
It's a church with $1,000 a month membership fee? That's a tax shelter.
Yes, 100%. So you didn't need to ask if it was overseas because it's right in the state of California.
Oh, insane.
But I think, like, the biggest thing that she said was that she did not negotiate the sex tape between Ray J and Kim. And the polygraph person said that she was telling the truth. But Ray J has another side of the story.
Ray J is prepared, okay? Ray J has a projector. He has a PowerPoint presentation. He has the receipts.
Yeah, truly. What do you think? Like, do you think that Kris coordinated it?
I don't know if she coordinated it happening in the first place necessarily, but I think that she probably knew about it fairly quickly and then coordinated everything else about, like, its dissemination and what happened from there. That would be my suspicion.
Yeah, I'm actually starting... So I was like, yeah, Kris knew about it, had some involvement. After seeing what Ray J was talking about, I actually think nowadays that she, like, fully did everything.
I could believe it. I could believe it. But, like, up until yesterday, I was like, oh, no, she maybe, like... found out about it really early and did stuff. But yeah, you're right. Like,
there was just a lot of evidence pointing to Kris doing it, and a lot of it makes sense. So Ray J was like, there was 3 versions. 2 were filmed in Mexico, in Cabo, and then 1 was filmed in Santa Barbara. And he, like, showed all of these, like, letters and writing and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, that kind of checks out, because we had that storyline on the Kardashians where they're like, another sex tape's gonna come out from Ray J. And I was like, well, yeah, because there's, like, 3 versions. Yes. And I just feel like even just, like, the way that it was filmed, I don't think it was just, like,
Yeah.
You know, Kim alleges... It's tough to talk about because I'm like, if one person alleges that you were just making a video with your partner, and then it got leaked, that's
like,
such
that's horrible.
Yeah, like, that's so fucked up. So it's, like, hard to say that, but then, like, it just, I don't know, more and more evidence is proving that Kris Jenner was involved.
And I think that, like, isn't one of the big rumors that Kris even edited the tape and that there was, like, a golden shower that got edited out or something like that?
Yeah, so apparently she watched all 3 videos and was like, this is the one where, like, Kim, looks the best. I don't know if looks the best she means that, like, aesthetically, or if she means, like, looks the best, like...
I don't even want to examine that. Like, what does that even mean? Like,
I know.
First of all, I'm, like, I guess a little prude. I can't imagine ever making a sex tape. Like, what did me and my partner need a sex tape for, first of all? Like, I don't understand. Like, there's no need for that. And then... Just secondly, I'm making it, and then what, your mom sees it? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, that part literally kills me. But if that's the case, I'm like, that's why Kim and that family, like, nothing is normal for them. Like, because if that is that happened 20 years ago, more weirder shit has probably happened since then. But I'm like, this family does put, like, everything over fame and fortune, so I actually, like, low-key believe it. I do believe it. Yeah, and Ray J was even showing that there was, like, contracts where both him and Kim were paid $400,000 each for the tape, and he showed a bunch of letters that were in Kim's handwriting, and, like, it is Kim's handwriting, so I don't know, like, and there was, like, a point during the live stream where he went to go look at his DMs with Kim, and then Kim blocked him right then, so he couldn't see them, and it's like, oh, so they were watching this too, and, like, and then it also, even then, I'm like, well, so were they involved in this happening? Because, like, are you really telling me that Ray J made a PowerPoint presentation? Like, I also don't know that if I believe that. Yeah, literally. I have no idea. It is I feel like one of the greatest mysteries of pop culture, like, history. We'll never know. And that's the thing, is that I never feel more like a conspiracy theorist than when I'm talking about Kardashian stuff. Because I'm truly like, I have no idea what's real. I have no idea what's fake. I have no idea what's planned or, like, what they're reacting to. I just have to assume that Kris, like, planned everything at all times. Yeah, it's so wild. And we'll just keep you posted because this is, like, an ongoing story. We'll find out. But, like, as of right now, I'm, like, Team Ray J. And it feels wrong to say it, but it's how I feel. Literally. Speaking of Kim, at always_striving_for_better, asked us to chat a little bit about Kim doing a true crime podcast, since we are both podcasters ourselves. What is she doing? Like, I guess it makes sense with her whole, like, rebrand to doing the baby bar and all of that. That, like, oh, yeah, like, maybe she'll do, like, innocence project type cases of, like, people that are incarcerated that, like, have maintained their innocence the whole time. But I also I don't care to hear it. Like, because I feel like no matter what, like, I'm sure she'll have a really great team of researchers to do work for her, and, like, it'll be good information. But I don't know. There's already so many true crime podcasts, and I feel like so many true crime podcasts also are, like, ethically bad that then I'm like, because, like, a lot of them are, like, super propaganda-y and, like, very pro-law enforcement, and then a lot of times you'll find out that, like, some man involved with a podcast or network is just, like, a garbage human. It just happens all the time. So I don't even trust true crime anymore, and I certainly don't trust the Kardashians. When you say it's propaganda, is how? Because, like, no crimes are solved by
and that's
cops.
The thing, right? Is, like, sometimes you'll have them where they'll talk about, like, oh, this investigation was done wrong and here's all the problems with it. But a lot of the time, a true crime podcast will be like, and this one investigator, like, saw the right thing to do, and they did this, 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 and this, and they solved the case, and they're, like, the greatest ever, and puts a lot of the emphasis on the investigative process by the police rather than, you know, someone died. Like, that's the main thing here. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I feel like that's the thing with
true crime, and then really like even like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff. And you and I have talked about this like in person and stuff like that, but like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to, or like even Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Epstein, it's like sometimes talking about it because it involves like sex and like I don't know, it just feels like it's like a little bit sensational. And I feel like it desensitizes us from like that it was an actual person who like lost their life.
Like it's not new. Like people have been doing this forever. Like way back, there'd be like, say your neighbor got murdered, the police wouldn't even know to like block the door so you couldn't go in and look at the scene. Like people would go in and be like, oh look, yeah, there's the blood right there. Like people are weird. We're all like voyeurs, and that's probably like a big part of why we love pop culture so much. But it just also can have an ugly side, and so I'm not saying I'm anti-true crime. Like, I still listen to some true crime podcasts, but just, like, be cognizant of who's making the content. And I don't think the Kardashians are doing it right.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It is smart, though, because, like, I feel like the Kardashians, one space they haven't conquered is podcasts. And, like, podcasts have been on the up and up for, like, the last 5 or 6 years. True crime, makes sense for her thematically, like you said, but also because I think it will be like serial, like it'll be scripted, so it won't be conversational. So I feel like that's perfect for her because she lives a busy life and like doesn't put her in the hot seat. She can just read off of a script and like call it a day.
That is very true. Listen, will I listen to it? Yes. But I'm also just super surprised that it took this long. I feel like this would have been a like massive move in like April of 2020 for them to move into the podcast space, because I think the statistic is that there are like so many more podcasts now, but there's not really more podcast listeners. And so, I mean, she's famous, so she'll get like ears on her podcast, but it would have been, I think, a huge deal if it had come up when we were all locked at home.
Yeah, 100%. Or even just more on the cutting edge of podcasts. Like, I think of other celebrities who have had theirs for like
how long has Anna Faris been doing
years? Like so long. I feel like she's been doing hers for like 7 years.
Yeah, she started in 2015. Look at you, you nailed it.
Yeah. I just remember seeing like her being one of the first celebs to get in on this, so I just feel like it's really late to the game, because I feel like podcasting is like either at its peak or like a little bit after
it's not
peak.
New. It's like a pretty stable thing. It's weird that it's happening now.
She also says she wants to be in a Marvel movie, following like, you know, all of her love of superhero motifs. Are you a big Marvel girl?
I've watched most Marvel stuff at this point. There was a time when I had seen everything and I was like really caught up and would go see the movies in the theater and all of that, because I very much am a movie theater girly. Give me my big popcorn with layered butter. Give me a giant pop. Like, I'm in. And honestly, I would go see almost any movie in the theater also, which I think comes from growing up in a small town. But, like, Marvel, I like Marvel. I'm not fully up to date. I guess every, like, famous person is basically doing something with Marvel, so it makes sense why she would want even, like, a small cameo. Like, even Meg Thee Stallion was just on She-Hulk, so...
Yeah, and Harry Styles.
I had enough Harry Styles. Is that a hot take? Like, I've never been a Harry Styles person. Like, even in the One Direction days, I was all about Zayn. So I really have never understood the hype, and now I'm just, like... I'm sick of him. There's been too many stories lately.
Yeah, he's 100% moving in the territory of overexposed. Like one of the people we're going to talk about later on. Not Queen Elizabeth.
I could say Queen Elizabeth is overexposed.
Yeah. I'm thinking of Jennifer Lawrence. But yeah, like, I definitely agree. I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's a warm take. But I
yeah.
I do 100% agree.
Are you a Marvel person? Yeah, I didn't get the sense that you would be, but you never know. Some people surprise you. I just don't know,
Totally.
like, who's Kim gonna be? Like, what, does she want to be wearing, like, a super tight outfit to, like, once again set even more unrealistic beauty standards for us? Like, I've had enough. Go away.
Yeah. I just think, like, it's so funny about how, well, I don't know, it's like the world is your oyster, Kim, because she just now has all the resources in the world. She's, like, we never thought she would tackle Vogue or, like, all of these things, and or be, like, a successful designer or whatever, and, like, she's done all of that stuff, so why wouldn't she have some small movie roles?
I mean, if that's what she wants, but, like, my God, I would really like if they chose, as a family, to go back to having nice clothing before they started branching out more.
Yes.
Like, they look ridiculous now.
I know. I used to love looking at their outfits like 5 years ago and stuff. And now I don't think I've liked one of their outfits in so long. Literal years. It's too not out good. There. And
I'm not saying that in like I hate fashion kind of way. Like, I know high fashion is not the same as what you wear out and about. I just think it looks ugly, everything they've been doing.
It looks so ugly. And, like, the weird tiny sunglasses are really, like sports dad sunglasses.
I really want a pair of tiny sunglasses, though. Like, I think I could pull them off.
I could see you in, like, kind of, like, the
that's exactly
ones.
The type.
Yes, yeah, I could see that. I feel like I could wear those, too. But, like, some of them I'm like, if you can't pull this off, how do you think any of us can wear that? Okay, let's talk about the woman of the hour. I just love how we have sandwiched Queen Elizabeth's death between Jennifer Lawrence content and Kardashian
Listen, Queen Elizabeth got so sick of the Don't Worry Darling drama that she said, I'll take care of it, don't worry. And honestly, I'm mad at her for it because I was living for all of it. I don't care. I would never get sick of it. I could write a dissertation on it. It's fine.
I know, 100%. Like, take me back to last week where I just sat on my phone for like 8 hours watching a minute-by-minute update of the Venice Film Festival.
I also just, like, I know that it's a historic event. She's the longest reigning monarch of, the United Kingdom, all of that. But I'm also like, this is a 94-year-old woman. Dying is kind of what they do at that point. Like, I don't know. I 96?
96?
Oh, yes. No, 96 because I saw a picture of her driving a car at 94, and it just stuck in my brain of, like, why was she still driving a car at 94? Like, I don't get it. I just don't care. I don't know. Am I supposed to get, like, that's I don't know. I just never thought Charles would be king.
I didn't. Yeah, it's weird. Like, there is part of your just, like, life is speculation about what was ever gonna happen when Queen Elizabeth died. So it is. I think the part that is interesting to me is, like, it's a historic event. It, for me, came suddenly because I didn't see the tweets about her.
See, I saw a tweet that she was sick, and then 2 hours later, I saw a tweet that she had passed away. Like, it was not a lot of warning for us that she was doing really badly.
Yeah, I didn't see that because it was a work day for us. So I was working, and then I didn't see that. Then I checked my phone during a meeting, and it was like Queen Elizabeth dead, and I was like, I feel like we get one of those spoofs like every couple months. And then it was like, oh no, this is like actually from BBC. So I was like, oh, I like should pay attention. So a few things. Yeah, I think it's another historical event that we're experiencing. So that part of it's interesting. I don't think you have to care per se. Like, I don't know. Like, we're Canadian, so
we might get a day off work for this.
So that's what I'm
like.
Hoping
I think they already
like,
said they won't do like a permanent stat holiday, but I think we'll get one this year. And I really think if she had died any month other than September, we would have gotten a permanent stat. But we already have Labor Day and Truth and Reconciliation Day in September, so I think by giving a third stat in September, they're just like, that's too much. Not for me personally. I'll take it
because 100%. But they do try to like kind of put them in strategic places throughout the year. But it's been this, juxtaposing like views on Twitter of like she is a monarch and that's like interesting or special to people, and then she's also like a colonizer.
Yes.
face of like white supremacy
and like directly in charge of the United Kingdom during some really, really, really bad stuff. Like I think specifically like basically concentration camps in Kenya and a lot of stuff like that. And so it's like, well, do we really have to celebrate that? I also, here's something weird. So I work for the government, and I work for lawyers for the government, which are called Crown Counsel. And so I had to update a bunch of forms at work that used to say Her Majesty the Queen to say His Majesty the King. And like there's a certain number of lawyers every year would get nominated to become Queen's Counsel because they're like the best of the best. They're King's Counsel now. So now instead of saying like so-and-so QC, it says KC. And I just think KC looks tacky compared to QC.
Yeah, totally. It's those little tiny things that like we'll see change. Yeah. Like even our money probably.
No, we have to have Charles' face on our money? Do you think, do you think the first run of bills with Charles' face on it will be worth money one day? Or do you think the last run with Lizzie's face on it will be worth more?
I think the last run with
we should all go take out a bunch of cash from the ATM.
Yes, we should. But it has to be like the 2022 printed stuff.
So I'm going to go to the ATM. I'm going to withdraw cash. I'm going to check the bills. If any of them are not 2022, I'll deposit them back into my account and then do another withdrawal.
And then and then it's like the same ones. Like, yeah. No, and like I don't want to also downplay that like, oh, it's just our money changing.
The head of our state is changing.
I don't know, but yeah, and I feel like also this would have been a good time to stop.
Yes, well, no, I think there's actually a lot of discussion of that now, whereas, you know, Elizabeth was reigning for so long. I think it was, 73 years? No, longer than that. Mm-hmm. It was like a long time that she was queen, and I feel like a lot of places, it's super complacent to just stay status quo, how things are. But then when anything changes with, you know, the main, you know, head of this Commonwealth, I feel like there's going to be a lot of a push to end the Commonwealth. And as well, I think there's going to be a lot of push from Indigenous people of like, why are we still putting this group above us at the like head of state of like a country that's already like bad?
Yeah, I was literally just gonna say that. You mentioned Truth and Reconciliation Day, and it's like, well, this would be another step towards reconciliation if we just got rid of
the monarch is also the head of the Church of England, and the Church of England also has like not done a great job with accepting responsibility for what they've done to Indigenous people as well. So, this is an opportunity to actually make positive changes. And so I just hope that people take it. I feel like we're already getting a lot of people being like, oh, have some respect. She served her country forever and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, if someone does bad things, I don't have to suddenly love them when they die. Like, I didn't think about the Queen every day when she was alive, and I'm not going to think about her every day now that she's dead.
Yeah, 100%. And I saw a tweet about this, and it's a really good point, but, like, politeness and being quote-unquote respectful is a lot of times silencing oppressed people from speaking up about their oppressor. So, yeah, I don't feel the need to, you know, post something about her death because I don't like her or what she like stood for. And I think it's tough because there is so much like, did you watch The Crown?
I haven't watched The Crown. Is that bad?
No, I don't think it's bad. I watched seasons, I think 1 to 3. Well,
season 4 was with Princess Di, right?
Yes, I watched seasons 1 to 3 and I'm gonna watch 4, and I think 5 is where Kate and Will meet, which is like what I'm most interested in. Like, I don't really care about the Queen specifically, but I don't know. It's interesting how they've shown her. I think they've shown a lot of like bad sides of her, but like also really humanized her. And I think that has clouded people's judgments about her death.
I agree. Also I think it was on Beyond the Blinds, I think Kelly said that like to her, the Queen like killed Princess Di, and so she didn't realize people liked the Queen for a long time. And I really like that because I feel like I have a lot of like foundational childhood memories of Princess Di, you know, passing away, her funeral, like the People magazine cover with her on it, like after her death. Like I remember all of that so vividly that it also definitely colors my opinion of everything.
100%. I talk about this on a podcast that I'll be releasing at the beginning of October. But even if it wasn't her specifically, it was definitely the firm, and she definitely like knew about it. So it's like, she's a murderer.
Well, and even,
even
if it wasn't about Princess Di, by being the head of the United Kingdom, you're murder. Like, you've done, like, you've endorsed, like, murders.
Yes, you've done murders. Yes. Yeah, like, where's your true crime
Oh my God.
podcast?
I feel like a really deep dive true crime podcast that could actually talk about, like, the firm and everything would be so juicy, but it would just never be allowed to exist.
So juicy. Yeah, that's the thing, is so much is shrouded in secrecy that we'll just never know. Whereas like a lot of stuff outside of like institutions, like just other pop culture, we end up finding out. But this is like real.
I'd love to know everything. I'm so nosy. That's the thing. I just want to know everything.
I'm so nosy.
Man.
So it seems like King Charles is gonna have like a coronation and like a big to-do, which again, like, I guess if you're waiting like 70 years or whatever, you probably want your moment in the spotlight, but it just seems in 2022
and specifically in England and the UK, like after Brexit, inflation is very, very high in the UK right now. People are super struggling. The homeless population is really high, and they're like, the trade relationships are not favorable for them with the rest of Europe because of leaving the European Union. So it just like extra looks really, really bad.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I wonder how the media, like, I wonder how this will go. If it will be low key, or if they're gonna go. I know, I don't think so either. Or if they'll go all out, and like just the coverage of that is going to be fascinating.
I saw a tweet today that was like, look at this peaceful transfer of power. And it's like, yeah, because the old one's dead. Like, what's she going to do? Come back as a poltergeist? Like, I don't understand what you expect.
Yeah. And like, it's the same family. It's not like it's moving to like
it's not like
or something
she
like
never
that.
had any children and it's like a far cousin inheriting. Like, what?
Yeah, literally. Ugh. What did you think about the family's reaction? Like, we saw tons of pictures of Will and Harry with Meghan and Kate all together for the first time in like
to see
a
them
long
all together.
time.
Like, absolutely wild, because they just haven't been. But I also kind of like, I understand like it's your grandma, like you kind of have to go to the funeral, but I also was like, ugh, Harry and Meghan, like, don't, like, I wish they hadn't given them the time of day. But then also, like, the reaction if they hadn't would have been so much. So, and like, I understand why they went and why they had to go, but like, made me sad because I know that they were treated so poorly there, especially, obviously, Meghan.
It's interesting to me that Meghan and Harry were in the UK on business stuff.
I think they knew that she was like ill. Like, they had to.
They must have known. That's like a conspiracy.
Well, I don't even think it's a conspiracy. It's like, I don't think that even if it's the monarch of your country that they have to tell you the second they're not doing well. I think it makes total sense to inform family and get them to come back.
But then she met the new prime minister 2 days ago, or 2 days before her death. So like, it could be up and down or whatever.
Someone blamed the new prime minister for the Queen's death.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I'm like, whatever, blame it. Blame it on Liz Truss,
I'm sure it's fuck her name is. I'm sure it's her fault, not years of having to deal with Boris Johnson. Okay.
Yeah. So the funniest thing to probably come out of this, which is, you know, like, funny death usually doesn't make sense, but as BBC was reporting that Queen Elizabeth was not doing well, Trisha Paytas was sharing that she was going into labor. She was 1 centimeter dilated.
Well, and this was fake, right? In the end? Like, I thought she wasn't actually in labor.
No, well, I think she was actually 1 centimeter dilated. Maybe I completely made this up. I think she's...
Yeah, no, I think she said over 1 centimeter dilated.
But I think you can be 1 centimeter dilated for, I think you could, like, 3 days, probably be, like, a centimeter
dilated, like, on a heavy period. Like, I don't know.
Literally. So everyone was saying, or there was, like, a fake tweet that she had the baby and she named the baby Elizabeth, like, literally minutes after
literally,
Queen
everyone's
Elizabeth
like, wow,
died.
Trisha Paytas had the reincarnation of Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, and like
So
it was
funny.
just everywhere. And just as you said, my media literacy is so low. I believed this for like a solid 20 minutes.
Truly, I may have believed this for 24 hours, Torry. Like, I'm not well.
Yeah, I was like Trisha would do that.
Honestly, this makes a lot of sense, and this baby's probably the Antichrist. Like, I got it. Like, the world's ending.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. Were there any other memes or tweets that you enjoyed?
No. So I was all about just like the Trisha Paytas theory, but I think did I send you the TikTok of like the 2 Easter eggs, like that audio? I liked that one a lot.
Yeah, I liked any of the ones that were like Queen Elizabeth meeting Princess Di in.
Oh my God! Wait, no,
heaven.
I saw one. This girl does like sketches, and she did one where she was like the god or whatever, and it was like, oh, did you get like the queen? And they were like, oh yeah, we got like the old lady you asked for, but it was like 2 weeks before her 100th birthday. Like, I don't know why you do that. And she's like, what? You got Betty White? It was supposed to be the queen. And that made me laugh.
Yes. Yeah, maybe I'll do like a tweet / meme roundup on my Instagram, but let's just say again, it was like, don't worry, darling, I was glued to my phone for 8 hours, and then I was glued to my phone for another 8 hours looking at the
There's
Queen
also,
Elizabeth
I saw one,
memes.
someone was sending all of the girls they've matched with on Tinder, just like, hey, I heard the queen died, are you doing okay? So that's,
I saw that too.
F-boy behavior, but funny.
Classic F-boy behavior.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about J-Law.
She's back, baby.
She is back. Like, again, on my bingo card was not Queen Elizabeth dying and was like no word of Jennifer.
No, because so she she was in Don't Look Up, but other than that, she hasn't acted in like a couple of years at least.
Yeah, I didn't always get the Jennifer Lawrence hate. I feel like, yeah, she was slightly annoying at times, but I feel like she's actually self-aware, and she was like, I need to take a breather, and I've been overexposed, and I need to like lay low. And she did just that. So I don't know. I've always been a stan. I kind of feel like we will look back at this period for J-Law and be like, it's kind of like when we all hated Taylor Swift and Anne Hathaway when they didn't do much.
Yeah,
wrong.
I know. Like, when I found out people hate Anne Hathaway, I literally was like, wait, well, what? Like, I love Anne Hathaway. And yeah, same with J-Lo. Like, I like her. I've always thought she's funny. I'm a very annoying person, so I really can't be throwing stones at someone who's annoying.
Same.
I've always liked her, and I mean, I didn't see everything she was in. That movie about the mop that she made was really bad, though. That was a very bad movie.
Yeah, like she definitely had like a flop era in movies, but I know she was like a really big indie film girl before her big break, and then she's kind of back into indie films, and good for you. Like, she got married, had a kid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she lives with her husband in New York.
Good for her.
She had a kid, and she's just chilling. Now she's at TIFF, the Toronto
Yes,
International
because it's
Film
for her
Fest.
new movie, which I did not write down what it's called. Causeway? Yes. And it's apparently just kind of like a hangout movie about like an older woman like back in her hometown, I think. It sounds interesting to me. And she's just been doing the media tour. I think, like, she is a good example of what you want the press around your movie to be like. Like, there's no controversy, but people are still talking about it.
Yeah, it's not overshadowing, like, Don't Worry, Darling, but we're still talking about it in a positive way. So she was on Vogue's 73 Questions, and I watched it. She was, like, her same quirky self as she was 5 years ago. But I think the one, like, most interesting thing was, like, the interviewer asked, what's the craziest rumor you've ever heard about yourself? And she said, I didn't fuck Harvey Weinstein, or, like, that I fucked Harvey Weinstein. That was just interesting because...
like, really latched onto this one. And I really liked Shannon from Fluently Forward did a really good video on it of, like, yeah, when... you have to fuck someone to have a career and not be blackballed, it is a sexual assault, not fucking them. So I'm like, yeah, of course, duh.
Yeah, like, people call her a Harvey girl, and I was like, you don't call people victims of abuse.
Yeah. Like, it's not like Charlie's Angels. Like, it's like she was in a situation where she was coerced at the very minimum to do like sexual acts that she would not have otherwise done. Like, you cannot tell me that Jennifer Lawrence, of her own volition, would have ever fucked Harvey Weinstein. Like, absolutely not.
No.
She had to do it in order to have her career. And she's so fucking talented. And to think that if she like just didn't do these like casting couch like disgusting things, she felt she had to do that to have her career that she'd given up everything to pursue. Like, I like that. I liked this. I liked that she was that I had fucked him. Yeah, I didn't do that.
Me too. I think it's a really cool way of kind of addressing that in a way that's comfortable for her, and in a way that's like maybe like casual. It's not like a sit down interview. There was no follow-up questions because you can't do that in 73 questions. And so I thought that was... Yeah,
it was just off the dome. Like, that's the first thing she thought. But, like, the craziest thing that people ever think about her is that she was, like, happily, like, sleeping with Harvey Weinstein.
Fuck. 100%. But yeah, on her press circuit, she's talking about Real Housewives. Classic
She's so relatable, okay?
And then she's so relatable. She watches all the Kardashian and Housewives Bravo content. But she also talked about cutting off her Republican parents, which I thought was really interesting in the Sydney Sweeney of it all, because I think they had very similar upbringings and chose to handle those relationships really different. I would say I would be on Jennifer's side.
I agree. I can understand why you would maybe feel like you can't cut off your parents. I get that, and like there's a lot wrapped up in all of that. But like Sydney hosted the party where there was all the Make 60 Great Again hats. So it's like that's a little bit more than just like ignoring it. Like you're actively like those red hat parodies are never funny. They're just never funny.
No, can we stop doing those? They're so dumb.
I saw, like, one of my friends recently was like, actually, the red hat parodies are even worse than a mega hat, because, like, a mega hat, I just know you're dumb, but, like, with the parody, you think you're smart, but you're actually dumb. And I was like, oh, God.
Yes, that's such a good point. Yeah, definitely. I think it's one thing to, like, enable the behavior and then, or... you know, live out your values, and it seems like she's been doing that.
I love that. I love that she was like, I couldn't get over it. Like, I could not get over my family's political beliefs, so I'm just done.
I want her to do well. Like, I hope that this is a comeback for her to,
honestly,
like, stay.
I feel like I was a J-Law girly. I loved the Hunger Games. I was going to midnight shows.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I was wearing my hair in a
listen, I'm still wearing my hair in braids. Is it impacted by Hunger Games? I don't know. Maybe. Could be.
Possibly.
Like, a lot. It's, like, the main thing I do is, like, put my hair into 2 braids. Like, I truly can't be bothered to do anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Impact.
I just want to be the Mockingjay.
Okay, let's move on to Pettyweight Champion of the Week. This is the part of the show where Kirsten is going to nominate a Pettyweight Champion of the Week, someone in the media who did something petty, and it was iconic. Who are you nominating?
We already talked about it today, but it has to be Ray J. Like, he did a whole damn PowerPoint presentation. I was really struggling with this. Like, who would it be? Like, could I go back to the Don't Worry Darling? And, like, Florence Pugh, like, has been quite petty. But I was like, he made a PowerPoint presentation. Like, that is ultimate pettiness, in my opinion.
100%. And I think he's just so sick and tired of this 20-year discourse of... did he do it or did he not? And like, oh, it must be so frustrating. But yeah, it's petty to pull up those receipts, to just show his computer screen and like pull up all those like scanned letters and stuff.
Like,
so petty.
Like, I like to think that I'm a petty person. I could never be that petty.
I know. Also, you can just tell that he's been petty from day one.
Exactly. Like, he had them ready to go. Yeah. He was lying in wait for the right moment to do it. And I love to see it.
Yeah. I wonder, like, do you think at the time he was like, oh, I'll just save this because it's, like, business goings on? Or do you think he was like, I'm going to save this because one day I might be accused of being the bad guy, and I mean,
especially since, like, did he know that the story was going to be that it was, like, a leaked tape? Because in that case, maybe he knew and was, like, plotting. But I like to think of it as, like, Ray J just has, like, a very organized email inbox. He has a subfolder for everything, and he keeps everything. Like, that's how I like to think about it. Like, just, like, Virgo, type 1, Enneagram energy. Like, that's what I like to believe.
Literally, yeah, 100% that he just, like, naturally had all of these things.
And then when he needed it, he was
MacBook.
like, oh, perfect. Here's my file from 2002, Kris Jenner correspondence. Like, got it.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that fun? Like, I just think that's a fun way to think about it.
Yeah. I'm choosing to believe that too. I could never be that type of person because I just don't have the storage space on my computer.
Literally. Like, I used to always be that person at work. Like, I always had everything. It was all saved. It was subfoldered. But where I work now, we only get so much Outlook space, so I can't keep everything in there. And so it's like, what, I'm going to PDF all these emails? Absolutely not.
Okay, finally, let's hear this week in Petty.
Okay, this is so, I'm prefacing by, this is so stupid, okay?
Okay, everyone always prefaces stories with "it's so stupid." It's
but
like,
it's like,
that's
so, okay, this is a situation where, like, I can't even, like, be petty back. So it's just, like, it's annoying. But, so here's why I'm feeling petty. So I like to play this video game called Fall Guys. And so it's just, like, a platformer game. You run through the levels. It's fun. It's addictive. It's bright. It, like, makes my brain feel good. I like playing it. But they have modes where you play, like, on a team. So you're a squad of people. You win together or you lose together. I like playing those, especially with my friends who are better at the game, because then it helps me do better because I'm, like, not great. But... So the way you get points is it's like everyone who finishes, like if I finish first, I get 25 points. Second place gets 24, blah, 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 blah. So you have to have your whole team of 4 or else you're just like doomed. And these people are joining the squad lobbies and then just quitting. So then you're left with a team of 3 or a team of 2 and it's impossible to win. And it's like you committed to being on a squad of 4 people. It takes like 10 minutes to play through a whole game. Like, why are you leaving me? Like, why did you betray me like this?
Okay, literally that was me in the Among Us craze when I was like fiending for a hit and I would play like the... Oh my
God, why didn't you message me? I was playing so much Among Us.
I know. Like, you know, when you like don't play with your friends, you just join a random game and then like there would be like 9 people. And then all of a sudden it'd be like drop down to like 3 and then the person would press play and then you're like, oh cool, there's one imposter.
Yeah, they make one kill and just win. Like, cool, awesome.
Yes.
Tori, have you ever played Goose Goose Duck?
No, but I see you playing it on Twitch all the time.
But so Goose Goose Duck is like literally exactly the same as Among Us, but there's like more roles and it's really fun and there's voice chat built into the game and I'm going to make you download it so you can come play with me on my stream one day.
I was just going to say, should I just become a streamer?
Yes. But like literally like at the start, not right at the start, but like the start of like the Among Us craze and like the fall of 2020, literally every night of the week, me and friends would be on a Zoom call playing Among Us, 10 of us on a Zoom call together. Like, I wish I'd known you were playing. I would have been calling you every day. Hey, we're trying to get to 10. Can you join?
I know. I know. And also, can we just like restart that? Because I felt like I fell off and then they brought out the new spaceships and they
brought
played them
one new spaceship and then we started playing Goose Goose Duck like so long ago and Among Us hasn't added anything new. You need to get onto Goose Goose. Goose Goose is so much fun. Yeah. Okay, and there's like so many roles. So there's like the geese are good and then the ducks are the killers. But then there's the falcon who's like a killer on another team. And then there's like you could be lovers or you could have it's so much fun. Like it's just like chaotic. Ooh. You're coming to the next one that I org.
Okay, yeah, okay. I want to do that. That's so much fun. And I like love the idea because I was so into Among Us. I was watching
Oh my God, gonna can't friend jump me to Puya, but I'm introducing you to Puya so you can come play Goose Goose Duck with us.
Oh yeah, oh my God.
But if you friend jump me to Puya and Liana, I'm gonna be devastated.
I won't, I promise. Yeah, I had that like a 1 week phase, you know, like corpse.
Yes.
Boyfriend or whatever, corpse husband or whatever. I had like a 1 week like obsession with corpse boyfriend.
I know what you mean, but I couldn't tell you like the actual thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I was like, I just had a like with his like deep voice.
Sometimes people just have like a deep voice and it just
corpse husband
like an itch in your brain.
100%. It's just one of those things where you know, like something and then you just have to do like a 6-hour deep dive and then you'll never look 100%. At it ever again.
Can I say one more thing I'm petty about? Like I know, like I'm just like
Yeah.
So I live in a basement suite, which is awesome. I found an affordable place. Like, it's great. They have loud children, but I've come to terms with that. But here now, last week, these people got a hot tub. And I don't think I'm allowed to use it. I don't think I can ask because I, like, know them. So they would, like, feel uncomfortable and say yes even if they don't want me to use it. So, like, if they offer it, I'll be like, yes. But, like, the hot tub is, like, 10 steps away from my front door. So, like, whenever they're in the hot tub, I can hear them chatting. And I'm like, I should be, like, I hear them in the hot tub with their children. And I'm like, children shouldn't be enjoying a hot tub. I should be enjoying a hot tub.
Yeah, in silence.
I would sit there in silence in the dark.
Literally. Okay,
your building is a hot tub. Oh my god, Torry, I'm coming over.
Yeah. And then also it's like the same. I'll be like lying in bed like fucking dead after work, and then someone will choose, because I live in an apartment for the listeners, and there's communal barbecues like right outside my door, and literally I'll be dying in bed or like depressed eating like a bag of chips and a box of chocolates at the same time. And then people will be like literally barbecuing like 10 feet away from me, and I'll be like, fuck off. Like, I hate you.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, they're just using the perks of the place where we all live? How dare they?
I know. Yeah, I love how, like, you're mad for the family enjoying a hot tub. I'm mad for people using the barbecue.
Like, max. It's probably less than 10 feet from my, like, door and window. And, like, they have a backyard.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they could have found a different place to put it. Which is, like,
100%.
It's fine. Like, I would never complain. I would never say a word. Like, I would never be like, I can hear you. But I'm, like, so jealous because I love hot tubs so much. I think that's the problem. I'm jealous. I'm a jealous bitch, and I can't get over it.
Yeah, I'm jealous that they're frying up or barbecuing up some hot dogs or whatever.
My sister has like a portable barbecue, and we take it down to the beach and do barbecues there. It's pretty cute.
That's so fun.
I love
That's super cute. I'm just like scared of fire.
My brother-in-law just like grilling. It's fine. I'll invite you. You can just become.
Yeah, it's like, a man's job.
Listen. It's fine. I'm gonna infiltrate your friend group. Like I know you. Like I know your friends listen to this. Like Nick. Yeah, we're gonna be friends. Dana, Champ. Like I'm coming for you. I'm infiltrating the friend group. You don't know it yet, but I'm going to become friends with you. And so I'll just also integrate you into my like so 4 friends that I have in this city.
Yes. Amazing. I would love that. Okay, this was super fun. I feel like we talked about 1,000 things. I feel like that's what always happens when you and I talk. Like we'll be literally on a walk and it's like, oh my god, did we cover 4,000 topics? I know. It's like, did we take a deep breath? Never in my life. Ocean air? No. Like, truly. Where can the listeners find you and anything else you want to plug? I post about everything I'm doing over on Twitter at Kirsten Said What. The main thing is, if you like this show, just give Mess Magnets a chance. Sasha and I are huge RTBP fans, and so we are just trying to operate with another space in that pop culture sphere. And if you like this, you might like that. Mm-hmm. Give it a little try. It's okay. And then, I also have a Twitch stream at Kirsten Said What. If people like watching girls that are bad at video games get angry about being bad at video games, that's what I'm doing over there. And I was on a Mess Magnets episode a few months ago, so go check it out. Yeah, it was really fun. Oh my god. The elephant story lives on in infamy. See, and that's the thing. I was like, okay, I have to get a sub for Sasha in like 2 weeks. And I was like, is this too close to me going on RTBP? Can I ask Torry? Like, yeah. Anytime, I'm down to clown. You and me both. But yes, thank you for having me, Torry. I am obsessed with your podcast, and I'm just grateful to you for getting me back into pop culture. And there you have it. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you to Kirsten for joining me on today's episode. If you'd like to support the pod, you can follow along on socials at RTBP Podcast. It's super helpful if you rate and review the podcast. And like I said, big things coming with the Patreon. It's an extra episode of RTBP a week, as well as there's a tier to join our Discord community, so you can join us there if you want more content and community. And I'm just ever so grateful. I really never thought, I'm going to talk about this more on the Patreon, but like I just never thought that I would ever get to this point. So just want to give a big shout out to anyone who's ever supported RTBP. I love you guys so much. I don't say that enough. I hope you are all safe and healthy, As always, I'm your host, Torry, and I am ready to be petty. See you soon. Bye.